Hey, what is going on, guys? Cisco here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create this landing page using the free Elementor plugin. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the back end of my WordPress dashboard, and as you can see right here, I've already downloaded the Elementor plugin. So I have the free Elementor version here, and what I want to do now is I want to go to pages, add a new page, and we're going to go ahead and give this a title. So we're going to say sneakers landing page. And we want to go ahead and edit this with Elementor. So click on this Elementor button. So next, as you can see, we have this header up here. We have the title. We have this footer. We want to get rid of this. We just want a blank canvas. So to do that, we go down here to the settings flywheel, click on that. And here in page layout, you want to go ahead and click this drop down and select Elementor canvas. And this is going to give us a blank canvas to work with. Now, after we do that, we go to this little hamburger icon here. Select it. You want to go to site settings. And in site settings, click on global fonts. So for these, the primary, secondary, text, and accent, we want to go ahead and change the font family for each one. So for the primary, we want to go ahead and type in Cinzel. So I already added this, but I'm going to show you real quick. So all you would do is just type in Cinzel right in there. It's going to give you Cinzel. Just click on it, and for the weight, just select 200. Now you're going to do the same thing for secondary. Just select Cinzel and the weight 200. And for text, you want to go ahead and type in Montserrat. So Montserrat, as you can see right here, just select that, and then for the weight, 300. And finally, accent, we're going to do the same one, Cinzel, and weight of 200. So once you have that, you can go ahead and click on Update. I'm just going to X out of here. And now we want to go ahead and add in here our column. So to do that, you want to click on this red plus sign here, and we want to select this single structure. Okay, so as you can see, it's right up here, but we want it down in the middle. So to do that, we're going to go to here where it says height. Click this drop down, select minimum height, and you want to go to VH. So select VH, and in here, put in 100. Okay, so as you can see, this brought it down to the middle. Now in the width, we want to go ahead and give it 800 for width. Okay, that's perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add in my video. So I'm going to have a video here in the background playing. So to do that, I'm going to go here to background type, select classic. Okay, and here in choose image, I'm going to go ahead and select image. So upload files, and I'm going to go ahead and upload my video file and be right back. Okay, great. So now that our video has uploaded, and by the way, if you want to grab these free videos, these stock images, you can go to a website called pexels.com and simply type in here whatever category or whatever type of image you're looking for. So in this case, I wanted a video about sneakers. So I just typed in sneakers in here, and as you can see, it gives me over 7,000 images or photos and over 600 videos. So you can select any type of video you want or image that you want. So now coming back here to our landing page, we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy this URL. So you're going to go ahead and select that, copy it. You can go ahead and click Insert Media. And now here you want to click on Video. So in the video link, we want to go ahead and paste that in there. And as you can see, this is going to be the video that's going to be showing in the background. And now we want to go ahead and turn it on to play on mobile. So turn this on here. And in background overlay, we want to go ahead and give this a color. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and in classic, we're going to say color. And I want to select like a purple type color maybe. So let me see here. So I would select like this type of purple here. I like that color, and I want to save this color for later. So what you can do is you can go ahead and click on this plus sign to save it. So this saves it automatically after you click on create. And now for opacity, I want to go ahead and give this Let's see. I don't want it to, I want the video to, for people to be able to see the video pretty well. So let's say point 0.7. So I'm going to leave it at 0.7. I think that looks good. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and leave it at 0.7. And now we want to go ahead and add in our text widget. So to do that, we can go back down here, or up here, I mean, and select our text editor. So we're going to go ahead and drop that right in there. Okay. And we want to go ahead and say, so I actually have what I wanted to say written down. Let me find it real quick. So I have it here. So it's going to say the sneaker shop. So the sneaker shop. All right. And I want to go ahead and center this. So to do that, I go to Style, click this alignment center here. And now I want to go ahead and change the color. So text color, I want to make this white. So I bring my cursor up to the white. And typography. Now, as you can see, it has already selected the Montserrat because that's what I selected here in the hamburger icon. If you remember, it's going to be Montserrat, and I wanted the size to be 15. Okay, so that is perfect. And now what I want to do is I want to give this transform it to uppercase. And actually, I want the letter spacing to be 7. So that is looking good. All right, so the sneaker shop. Next, I want to go ahead and add in this heading widget. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there. And for my text, this is going to say dope sneakers made for dope style. So let me type that in there. So, all right. And alignment, I want to go ahead and center this. That's perfect. So now we want to go ahead and go here to style. Okay, and again, we're going to go ahead and change the color of our text to white. So I want it all to be congruent. Then in typography, it's, as you can see, it's Stencil 200 weight. And if you didn't write it in, I wrote it in capital letters, but if you didn't, just go ahead and click on transform to uppercase. And I want this to be, so it's going to be 70. Yep, right here, 70. That's good. That's perfect. All right. And now we want to go ahead and add in some more text. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and come back here and click in this text editor back in here. So we're going to drop it in there, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the text. Okay, perfect. So now we have our text added in here. Now what you want to do is you want to go back here to style. We want to go ahead and center this, and we want to come here to our white. We want to make our text white. So just make that white. And then in typography, we want to go ahead and give this a size of, let's say, 18. I think that looks good. And now, let me make sure that I got everything. So line height, I want to go ahead and move this to EM. And I want to give it a line height of 2. Okay, that's perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to go here to advanced. We want to unlink this, and we want to change the unit to percentage. So here you want to click on percentage, and we want to say 20 to the right and 20 to the left. Okay, that looks good right there. That looks perfect. All right, now the last thing that we want to do here in this section is we want to go ahead and add in a button. So to do that, we go back up here to our widget tab, and we look for the button widget. So we're going to go ahead and grab this one, drag it and drop it right in there. We want to center it, and we want this button to say, show me. Okay, show me. Now here in the link, this button is going to link to the next section. So when you click on it, it's just going to drop down to the next section. I'm going to show you as soon as I create the next section. So we're going to leave this blank for now. But what you want to do is you want to go here to size, and you want to go ahead and change this to large. And now we want to style our button. So to do that, we're going to go back here to style. And the typography of our button is going to be Sinsel. We're going to leave it like that. Just transform this to uppercase. Okay. Everything else looks good. And now what you want to do is for the text color. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this here, and I'm going to select the color that I actually saved before, which I believe was either this one or this one. I'm going to go for this one right here. Oh, so that's actually not. I didn't want to change the background of my button to that color. So it's the text that I want to, the text that I want to change. So the text color here. All right, so go back here, and we're going to go ahead and select this one. And now for the background, we want it to be white. All right, so that's how we want it to look. Okay, that's perfect. Now when we hover over it, we want the text color to be white. Okay, and we want the color to the background to be a red pinkish color. So we're gonna go ahead and say, let me see, that color will work fine. So we're gonna go ahead and actually save this color. So create this, and as you can see, when I hover over it, it changes to that pinkish, that reddish color. So that is perfect right there. So here we go. We have created our first section. Now we're going to be creating the next section of our landing page. Okay, so we're going to continue with the next section here. And to do that, we're going to go here to this structure section, and we're going to select the single structure. And we want to go to height. And in height, in this drop down, we want to select minimum height. Click on VH, and we want to make this 100. Okay, so now we want to go and change the background color here. So we want to go to background type and select here color. Now you can select the color if you want. I'm just going to select one of the ones that I actually saved. So I'm going to say this one here. Excuse me. This would work fine. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to come back up here, and I want to use this text again. So instead of creating it from scratch, I'm going to go ahead and click here, copy. Just come in here, paste that in there, and all I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to change what the text says. So I'm going to say, see our selection. I think selection, I spelled it wrong. Okay, so yep. All right, so see our selection, and next we want to go ahead and grab this headline copy here. So copy it, paste that in there. Okay, and for this one, we're going to say latest, let's say, we're going to say latest sneakers. Okay. And you could probably do a better job with the text, with the messaging. This is just to show you pretty much how this landing page would look. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually grab this here. Again, go back in here, paste that in there. All right, that's perfect. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and actually add in three columns. So to do that, I'm going to show you real quick. We go to our widgets, and we're going to add in this intersection. So we grab this intersection and we drop it right in there. And now what we want to do is you want to come here to this little black button that says edit column. Click on that, and we want to add in a new column. Okay, so now we go back to our widgets, and in our widgets we're going to look for the image box. So right here we're going to go ahead and drop it in there. Perfect. So now that we have our image box in here, we're gonna go ahead and grab an image. So I'm gonna be using the same sneaker for all three of these images or all three of these examples. So obviously you would wanna have different images here, but I'm just gonna be using the same one just to save time, okay? So now what we wanna do here is actually change the title and description. So I'm just gonna say Nike Air Max, let's say 1, okay? And for the description, so I'm gonna grab this description here and I'm just gonna put in the price. So I'm gonna say 150 bucks. Okay, this is how much this sneaker costs. All right. Now we're gonna go to style, and what we want to do in style is, so we have our image here, and we're gonna set the spacing to 0. So here we're gonna say 0, and we're gonna go to. So spacing is 0, and now the width is gonna be 100. Okay, that's perfect right there. And now the content drop down, we're gonna align this to the left. So we're gonna go down here to content and we wanna align this to the left. That is perfect right there. Now for the title, for the spacing of the title, so we're gonna go ahead and say 2. That's perfect right there, 2. And for the typography, so we're gonna go ahead and grab this typography here, and we want to change this to Montserrat. So I actually want this to be Montserrat. And now what we want to do is actually change this color to white. So we want our text to be all white. And in the description, again, we want this text to be white as well. And we're gonna bring down the opacity. So we're gonna say right there, that looks good. Okay, that looks perfect. All right, now the next thing that I want to go ahead and do, and here is actually I'm going to change the size of this. So going back to our typography here, I want to make this 18, and this one I want to make I'm gonna make 25. I think that looks good. All right, that's perfect right there. And now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this widget. So I'm gonna go ahead, click here and click duplicate and drag and drop it in there. One more time, duplicate. And there you have it right there. We have our 3 images. Now the next thing that I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and grab this text. So I'm going to copy this text and I'm going to go ahead and drop it right in here. Okay, now that I drop it in there, I'm going to go and we're going to go to advanced. And we want the top here to be, let me see the top. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it in percentage and I'm going to say 10. So 10% we want it. And now the next thing that we want to do is grab our button here. So again, we're going to go ahead and copy this button, come down here and paste the button right in there. That is perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change what this button says. So instead of show me, it's going to say order now. All right. Order now, and in the link I actually want to link this to a phone number. So I'm gonna say tell phone number, and I'm gonna just create a random phone number. So 731. All right, that is perfect right there. Now, anytime that somebody clicks this, it's automatically going to show up, and I'm going to show you in a moment how that works. So once we have our phone number in here, what we want to do now, and we have our phone number. We want to actually give this some spacing at the top and at the bottom. So what I want to do is I want to click here, edit section, and go to advanced. Now we want to unlink this padding, and from the top I want to say 200, and from the bottom I'm going to say also 200. Okay, so that is perfect. Now one thing I forgot is actually I wanted to make these buttons, give this button some animation. So in order to do that, let me just look for the animation tab. So hover right here, hover animation. I want to make this float. Okay, so we want to make these buttons float. Same thing for the other button. So we go to style, hover, and we want to say float. Okay, perfect. Now here, what I'm going to do, and this is actually to finish linking this button to this next section down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, and under CSSID, I'm going to say we're going to say sneaker section. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and copy this here. All right, and now we want to come back here to our button. In content, I want to go ahead and add that in there. So here we go, and now we're going to go ahead and check out how our progress is going so far. So in order to preview what we've done, we want to go ahead and click here. And this is what our landing page looks like so far. So as you can see, when we click this button, it drops us to our second section. And when we click this button, it gives us an option to call the phone number that we have added to this button. So next, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create the last section of this, and we'll be finished with our landing page. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and create our third and final section here. So to do that, we want to go ahead and grab this first section. So we want to copy this. Come back down here, and we want to add this right down here at the bottom. All right, and actually we want to change the height, so I'm going to go ahead and change this to 50. And also I want to go ahead and get rid of this image. So I don't want, the video, I don't want the video in there, so we're going to go ahead and just leave it in classic. And we're going to actually change this background color to white after we finish with our text. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of this headline here. I'm going to get rid of this as well. And I'm going to get rid of this button. Okay, so the sneaker shop, it's actually going to be, for our third section, it's going to say contact and visit us. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and actually duplicate this. And in the next one, we're going to go ahead and add in our phone number. So to add in our phone number, I'm going to go back here and just copy this phone number that we have here. Okay, come back down, add that phone number right in here. And I actually want to change, I forgot to change the color of this text. So I'm going to change the color of this text to our, let's see. I'm going to make this color here, and I should have done the same here, but all right, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color here, so bear with me for just a moment. Change this color as well. And now what I want to do is going back here to our style editor is in typography. Actually, I want to go ahead and bring this up to 60. So I want my phone number to be 60 for size, and weight I want it to be 600. Okay, and now I actually want to get the letter spacing, I want to make it that's fine, I'm going to leave it right there, that's good. And now for the line height, that's going to be good right there, that is perfect. And we're going to go ahead and grab this text again and just add it right in here. All right, and this is going to be our address. So for our address, I'm going to say 529 Broadway, New York, New York. All right, that is perfect right there. So we have our contact and visit us, our phone number, and we have our address right here. Now we want to go ahead and add in some social icons, but before I do, I actually want to change the I'm going to go ahead and actually make this just a little bit bolder here. So in the typography, I actually want it to stick out a little bit more. So I think that looks good. Now for my social icons, I'm going to go ahead and come back in here, and in the search widget, I'm going to type in social. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and drag and drop these in here, and we're going to add in our Instagram because it doesn't have an Instagram right there. It has WordPress. So for that, we're going to search for Instagram right here. Click on that, insert it. And as you can see, we have our social media icons right here. Now, what you would do, of course, is you would want to type in your own social media, add them in here, the links. Okay, so whenever somebody clicks on each one, they will be redirected to your personal social media. So now we're going to go ahead and change this to square, and we're going to leave them like as is right there, alignment in the middle. And now going back to style right up here, so I'm going to change the color of this. So I'm going to say primary color is going to be, and actually one of the ones that I saved. So I'm going to say this color here. I like that. And come back down here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say, so for size, I want it to be 25. And then for padding, I'm going to say 7, yeah, 0.7. That looks good. And then in spacing, I want to make it 12. So 12, all right. And now for the hover animation, I'm going to go ahead and again put in my floating animation. All right, that is perfect. That is how I want it right there. All right, perfect. So now the next thing that I want to go ahead and do is I actually want to go ahead and change this, like I mentioned before, and make this white. Okay, so it didn't change. Okay, so it's background overlay. We're going to go ahead and change that to, there you go. So now our background overlay is white, and we want to give this some space from the top and the bottom. So I'm actually going to go here, click here in advanced. I'm going to uncheck this, and at the top, I'm going to say 80. I went too far. So 80, and then at the bottom, I'm going to say 80 as well. Okay, that is perfect. And we can go ahead now and we can publish it. So we're going to go ahead and click on publish. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is how you can optimize this for your mobile. Okay, so finally what we want to do is we want to go ahead and make our landing page mobile optimized. So for that, we're going to go down here to this responsive mode section. Click on that, and as you can see, you're going to have these 3 different options. So we're currently in desktop, and we have tablet here and our mobile. So we're going to go ahead and select mobile. And as you can see, it can definitely use some minor adjustments. So the first one that I'm going to go ahead and adjust is this one here. So for that, we're going to go ahead and go here to style, and in typography, I actually want to make this 45. All right, that looks good. And now this section here, I want to go ahead and click on that, go to advanced, and in advanced, I want to go ahead and unlink this, but we want to go ahead and make it 10 from the right and 10 from the left. Okay, so now that actually looks better. It actually looks good. And same thing for this section here. So we're going to go ahead, click on here, go to style, typography, make this 45. And next section here, we want to go to advanced, uncheck this, or unlink this actually, right 10, left 10. Okay, everything else is looking good. Okay, same thing here. So uncheck this, and we're gonna keep this 10 right here, 10 at the right, and 10 at the left. All right, perfect. And we have our button here. Now, finally, this last section here, the only thing that we need to adjust is this phone number that is not looking too good. So to do that, we're gonna go to typography, and we're gonna say, I'm gonna say 45. Actually, it's still too big, so let's see, 40. I think 40 looks better. All right, so 40 looks good, and we're gonna leave everything else as is. So now we can go ahead and update this, and our landing page is ready to go. So as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and preview changes. This is what our landing page looks like. So it looks pretty good, pretty functional. And as you can see here, when we click this button, it's gonna automatically take us to call that phone number that we have already added in the button. And also right here, we're gonna be able to click this, and it's gonna take us to the next section. So I hope you got some value from this video. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, make sure you smash the like button. Also consider subscribing to the channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell icon if you do subscribe. That way you get notified when I put out new videos. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.